Danny, I wanted to get into this conversation because I think it's important. Texas is getting ready to head to Athens, Georgia. I think you're going as well, so have fun with that. Have fun with that. But this is a big-time opportunity for this Texas Longhorn football team. They came out yesterday and said we're placed at the number 10 position, and now all things ahead of them can change the way things are going.
Yeah, I mean, all of Texas's goals are still ahead of them. Not to sound like a cliche coach on the Monday morning, but I mean, they take care of business there in the playoffs. And, if you want to be a national champion, taking care of the number 5 team and the number 3 team, that should be part of the resume. Granted, I don't think you'd want to do it all in a row plus a playoff run, but I mean, to be the best, you got to beat the best. All those cliches I can throw out this morning and start this weekend in Athens. Maybe it's not completely a must-win game because there's talk about a 3-loss team getting in the playoffs, but it's a lot easier to get in when you have 2 losses as opposed to 3, and you just leave that conversation out of the committee room. So it starts this weekend. It's going to be tough. Georgia's not an easy place to play, and obviously Georgia had Texas's number last year. But if you're the number 1 team in the nation in the preseason, it's time to start proving it in November.
Yeah, they're starting to hit their stride a little bit. Offensively, obviously defense has been playing well. We just talked about what we've seen from Ethan Burke. Obviously, Colin Simmons has been doing a yeoman's work. But overall, it seems like this defense has decided to turn it up a notch when they needed to. They were dominant against Vanderbilt until, some changes had to happen in the second half because you had all those young guys out there. But it was definitely something to behold when you saw the way that they came out and handled Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I mean, they played really well against, I think, a person we kind of considered kind of a fringe Heisman Trophy candidate, but a football game is 60 minutes, and the fourth quarter still counts. What happens in the fourth quarter still counts. We don't get to just completely ignore it. I mean, you can obviously say, being without your All-American safety doesn't help, and then losing your other safety, a veteran safety, is not a recipe for success. But, this is the University of Texas. You're supposed to have depth. You're supposed to have 5-star guys behind them, and guys should be able to step up against nothing against the fine folks in Nashville, but they should be still better than what's on Vanderbilt's receiving core, and that just wasn't the case in that fourth quarter. So there's a lot that this Texas team has done that's been impressive on defense, but that fourth quarter still counts. We don't get to completely ignore what happened just because there's a bunch of young guys out there, because there may be a chance down the road that those young guys need to play some quality minutes, and we don't get to just say if this is a playoff game, well, it doesn't count because those young guys are out there. They're going to need to step up down the road.
Danny, Georgia is always a formidable opponent. Texas had trouble with them the last 2 years, or the last year. They lost 2 games. What is going to be the factor that you see stands out the most as the thing that needs to be fixed?
I'd say Georgia's more than a formidable opponent. I think they are the opponent. I think this Georgia team is not perfect. They've obviously had some struggles, and they're like Texas are kind of on the outside looking in with the SEC championship race. I think their road to the playoff is a lot smoother than Texas is. I think they have some margin for error, but this Georgia team has not been a juggernaut. I think they've trailed in every one of their SEC games except for one, and they've had to do some late rallies against Tennessee, against Ole Miss. So I think if Texas a good way to win, especially on the road, is to do kind of what Texas has done the last 2 weeks, get on the board early, whether that's with a Ryan Wingo quick pass or a nice drive, and then do what some of these other teams haven't been done and what Texas almost didn't do against Vanderbilt, and that's keep the foot on the gas and slam the door. Do not allow Georgia to stick around, because we allow Georgia to stick around, Georgia's going to stick around, and Georgia's going to come back. So I think it's important to get up early, hold them off, and then do little things like, continue, being great with your pass rush, continue being good with your run defense because Georgia can run the ball, and maybe develop a little bit of a run game yourself, because we're still waiting for Trey and CJ to get going. We expect them